Okay. This is Stephen Henthorne, and it is 10:25 p.m. On December 26, 2020. I have shifted to my the living room so that I may use my computer while I'm online, because I need to discuss various things that are on web pages. Wanted to do a live broadcast because of that reason, but I'm going to have to wait until tomorrow to do any live broadcast because it takes that long. It takes 24 hours from when I first apply to doing live streaming on YouTube. So I'm going to have to let that wait. I'm not going to do any singing of Nashville because I don't want to wake Dad up. But I will give my opening prayer to the nation because I can do that softly. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Amen. Okay. I've been reading various sites this morning after posting my uploading on YouTube. One of the reasons why I wanted to do live streaming is because it takes me a while to upload to YouTube or to Rumble. With our connection, my uploading speed is pretty slow. So it takes a couple of hours, and it can be very, very slow. But while I was uploading, and just a little afterwards, I was going about on Delphi Forums, which is at forums.delphiforums.com, and I went ahead and tried to promote my last video and my other videos in a few forums that I have been going to this past year. And at one of them, called the First Amendment, It's at forums.delphiforums.com/First Amendment. The first being 1ST, not FIST, it's not spelled out, it's got the number. There was a thread on that, RV warning before Nashville explosion, and has various news updates posted by the members. Blue Man Dude, in post number 21 on that thread, posts a article from heavy.com. Anthony Quinn Warner named as Nashville bombing person of interest. The opening paragraphs say, Anthony Quinn Warner was identified as the person of interest accused in the explosion of a parked RV in downtown Nashville, Tennessee, on Christmas morning, according to CBS News. I don't think I think that's inaccurate. He hasn't been accused of anything. Jeff Pegu, a CBS News journalist, wrote on Twitter, at CBS News has learned the name of a person of interest tied to the explosion that rocked #Nashville on #Christmas Day. Multiple sources tell us that Anthony Quinn Warner, a Nashville area resident, had a similar make and model RV. Authorities have not yet confirmed the identity. In a December 26th press conference, authorities declined to confirm CBS News' name release. They said they had over 500 investigated leads and are thus looking into multiple individuals. At this point, we're not prepared to identify any single individual, authorities said. They said they don't know if there was more than one person involved in the bombing, although they don't believe there are any active threats. However, authorities were certainly searching a home in Antioch, Tennessee. And there is a website at the bottom of the post to heavy.com/news/Anthony-Quinn-Warner. So, I go there, and I find the items listed there, and goes on to say, Heavy reached a neighbor of Warner's. She confirmed that the FBI and ATF were at Warner's longtime house along Bakertown Road in Antioch, Tennessee, which is a Nashville neighborhood. He transferred the home to a Los Angeles woman a month before the blast, however. The neighbor didn't want her name printed, but she said he lived here a long time. And he was quiet, kept to himself. That in quotes. And it goes on to say, in fact, even though she lived near here for him for 25 years, she never knew his last name. She described Warner as a white male with, quote, slight build. And she said he stood about 5 foot 5 inches tall and had grayish hair, kind of long. She noticed that the RV, which had been parked in his yard, was moved a couple of days ago. It's not there now. She said Warner lived at that home since at least 1995. Going on there, a little bit of description of the bombing video of the home. The another post on the First Amendment, I learned that the source was the image of the RV on Google Maps, and there's a photo of it in the article. The name Chateau is written on it in cursive letters, and that's apparently the brand name of the RV. It's white with blue trim. And there's also a second shot of how it looks on Google Earth, and it shows that the house is at the end of a traffic circle, which is at the end of a road, or a street. I don't know how long that road may be, but usually the streets that end in traffic circles are fairly short, although Honeysuckle Lane, which is where I live, ends in a traffic circle, and it's got about a mile long, but it's also a gravel road, and is actually a lane, and there's just room for one vehicle to go in or out. If two vehicles are going in the same in different directions on the road and they meet up, one of them has to yield, and fortunately there's a spot at the top of the road, at the top of a hill in the middle of the road, where one car can pull off and the other car can pass. Anyhow, that's actually irrelevant to this story, because Honeysuckle Lane is nowhere near Nashville, Tennessee. Alright. Continue on with the story. Online records show that Anthony Warner's name is linked to a company called Custom Alarms Electronic, but it doesn't come up in corporate records. Allbiz.com says of that company, quote, Custom Alarms Electronics is located in Nashville, Tennessee, and was founded in 2000. This business is working in the following industry: electrical installation. Annual sales for Custom Alarms Electronics are around USD 70,000. It lists Warner's names as the principal and the Bakertown Road address. Neighbors said that Warner would wave and say hi, but generally kept to himself. Let's see. As for the RV, she said he would, quote, park it in his backyard and then move it. A couple of days ago, I noticed that it was moved. Unquote. Warner does not come up as a registered butter in Tennessee records. Damage to communication infrastructure was significant due to the proximity of the blast to the AT&T building. AT&T wrote in a December 26th statement, our teams continue to work around the clock on recovery efforts from yesterday morning's explosion in Nashville. We have 2 portable cell sites operating in downtown Nashville, with numerous additional portable sites being deployed in the Nashville area and in the region. At our facility, the focus of the restoration continues to be getting power to the equipment in a safe and secure way, Challenges remain, including a fire which reignited overnight and led to the evacuation of the building. Currently, our teams are on site working with safety and structural engineers. They have drilled access holes into the building and are attempting to reconnect power to critical equipment. Technical teams are also working as quickly as possible on rerouting additional services to other facilities in the region to restore service. We continue to be grateful for the work of the first responders as they respond to this event and help protect our team working to restore service for our customers. Close quote. Okay. On Christmas Day, AT&T wrote, "Power is essential to restoring wireless communications, and we are working with law enforcement to get access to our equipment and make needed repairs. Given the damage to our facility, it will take time to restore service. We have already rerouted significant traffic from this facility and are bringing in other equipment, including numerous portable cell sites, to the area." Natalie Nessa Alund, a breaking news reporter for USA Today, wrote on Twitter, "Although a person of interest has been identified, an FBI spokesman at the scene said no person of interest or suspect is physically in custody." Close quote. That doesn't necessarily mean that a person of interest or suspect is at large. However, the article continues to say, because authorities previously revealed that they've recovered tissue that might be human remains at the bombing scene. The Tennessean reported that the bomb squad cleared the Bakerstown Road property on the afternoon of December 26th and confirmed that no one was inside the property. Authorities said they have no information on additional explosive threats. In a press conference on December 26th, they called the bomber the ultimate Scrooge, meaning he had left little evidence behind, I suspect. Police confirmed that the explosion was linked to a vehicle. They described it as a parked RV. Alright. Here's an... There's more. Okay, let's see. The article goes on to say, online records say that Anthony Warner first showed up at the property address with the RV in the 1980s and was there through 2020. He has relatives with ties to New York State, according to online records. An obituary that appears to be for his father says that Tony Warner wasn't married but had a brother and sister. The obit says his dad was from Nashville and died there. A quitclaim deed available through Davidson County records shows that on November 25th, 2020, Warner, for unclear reasons, gave the property in Antioch to an unmarried Los Angeles, California widowed woman named Michelle Swing for $0. The deed confirms that Warner was unmarried. Michelle L. Swing has ties to Tennessee and is 29 years old, according to online records. Her Facebook page is deleted. Okay, and then here's a photograph of the quitclaim deed. This instrument prepared by Anthony Q. Warner at 115 Bakerstown Road, Antioch, Tennessee, 37016. Okay, and executed this 25th day of November 2020. Now, going through this is going back to old arrest 3. Anthony Warner has an old arrest history dating to the 1970s. And here's his history. His date of birth 1/17/1957, making him a Capricorn. Citation arrest date 1/29/1978. Charge offense cont period sub period hyphen felony. I'm not sure what that stands for. Appeared in court on the 25th, 2 years later, 1/25/1980, and disposition guilty. Case status completed court process. Incarceration maximum years 1. No time suspended. Didn't have any listing on date released. Didn't have any listing on court costs. Others 2 years probation. Felony controlled substances. Okay, so that was for a possession of illegal drugs. More stuff from the bombing. FBI received 2 prior tips about Warner before the bombing reports say. What those tips said had not been released. Then more stuff on the bombing. Police closed a 10-block radius of the Tennessee city's downtown, according to WSMV TV. Williams added, per scanners. We've got opening quotes. Per scanners, Metro Police have identified an extended debris field that stretches up 2nd Avenue to the old Metro Courthouse. There's about 2 city blocks. Nashville fire crew is being told to back up another 2 blocks from the site of explosion in downtown area. Concerns possible vehicle bombs left in the area, potential radiation. All this is precautionary at this point. Nashville police and fire setting up radiation monitors to assess situation in downtown area near explosion site. This is all precautionary at this point. Close quote. And I've not heard anything else about radiation. So I don't know what that's all. That was just, I guess they were worried about there might be some sort of radiation for some reason. 5 police responded, shots fired, reports before the blast, and that's all stuff that we've gone through before. Just before I began this video, someone called The Think responded to my posting in Camelot, Camelot, the VRWC Homeland, VRWC standing for Vast Right-Wing Conspiracy. After the Hillary Clinton's claim that there was a vast right-wing conspiracy against her and against her husband. This was back during the I think it was during the first campaign of Bill Clinton to the presidency. That would be back in 1992. You know, that's at forums.delphiforums.com/VRWC_Homeland. and it's in the folder, the Drawbridge to Camelot, which is where most of the threads are posted. And in post number 6, in my thread, The Nashville Explosion, the Fink asks me, doesn't it raise questions to you as why that particular location? It affected services from Bowling Green, Kentucky, all the way to Knoxville, Tennessee. And I responded, and that may be part of it. That was and still is the AT&T building, and as it turns out, that's not just its name, but for that reason, that building is a hard target and resistant to being blown up. And this is that's all stuff that I learned yesterday from that was a hard target resistant to being blown up. But even so, it took a lot of damage and affected routing. And I'm going back to the First Amendment. Let's see, let me go back to the previous 10 posts, because there's something that I remember that here's a post that Blue Man posted to Marcy, full member named Marcin Min. Marcy is the host of the forum, and which was actually founded by someone else. I'd have to pull up his name to pull up the start page to get his name. But anyhow, when he left Delphi, he gave the forum to Marcy. And Marcy has her own forum that I posted, Liberal Heaven. And she posted the thread with the same opening article, RV warning before Nashville explosion, on her forum, and I went ahead and posted my video promo on that thread, or in both in her forum and in the First Amendment. Anyhow, the post from the Tennessean.com, is titled "Nashville Explosion: Investigators continue to comb through wreckage for clues in Boeing." Then subtitle: AT&T deploys portable cell sites, reports overnight fire. An AT&T outage connected to the explosion continues to affect many customers and 911 operations Saturday. Outages occurred several hours after the blast, as the company said building damage and access to power has been an issue. AT&T said a fire reignited overnight inside the building, leading to an evacuation. Currently, teams are on site working with safety and structural engineers, drilling access holes into the building and attempting to reconnect power to critical equipment. The company has deployed 2 portable cell sites operating in downtown, with many other portable sites deployed in the region. Teams are also working as quickly as possible on rerouting additional services to other facilities in the region. The county sent national disaster recovery teams to the Nashville area Friday. And then it links to www.tennessee.com/story/news/2020/12/26/Nashville-20 slash. And let's go to this item. And here's the beginning of the post. Ooh. Actual photo of the blast site. Okay, there's a video running on, it's on mute. Has the mayor of Tennessee, John Cooper, speaking through a mask. No, that's not John Cooper. That's Daryl DeBusk of the FBI. Discusses the investigation of the Nashville bombing. Yes, he's got a little bit more hair than the mayor does. Not all that much, but he's still got a little bit. Okay, and in this photo of the blast area, there's a lot of debris and a car that got wrecked by the blast that was nearby, has all its windows blown out, burned down a bit. It's a crater in the asphalt, not really asphalt, it's more concrete, and then the ground has been revealed, and lots of wire and possibly tree limbs. Okay. Says something about persons of interest having been identified. Talks about the Bakertown Road location. Rodizio Grill damaged in the blast. Rodizio Grill, a Brazilian steakhouse, is closed after sustaining damage during the explosion, which occurred in front of the restaurant at 166 2nd Avenue North. Founder Ivan Utrera said in a news release no employees were injured in the blast, but the significant destruction drew tears to his eyes. He saw the mangled storefront. It will be months until the restaurant can reopen, Utrera said. Utrera, excuse me. I read somewhere else that the district is formerly called the Arts District. That's the general area of Nashville that, let's see, Governor seeks federal support. Governor Bill Lee on Saturday requested assistance for Nashville in the wake of the explosion from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, that FEMA. Help with debris removal and emergency protective measures. Cooper, the mayor, John Cooper, said 2nd Avenue will look like a construction site in the months to come. Investigation in Antioch. 500 tips, no known threats. And Metro Police Chief John Drake said Saturday, "Let me reiterate that Nashville is safe. We feel and know that we have no known threats at this time." Close quote. He urged the public to be patient as officials work to clear the crime scene as quickly as possible to allow residents and businesses to return. Continues on. Fire Chief William Swan said 3 people were treated for minor injuries and released almost released Friday. That seems like that could have been better written. AT&T deploys portable cell sites, reports overnight fire. That's more stuff I already said. Nashville Fire Department Chief William Swan said restoring services could take days to complete. He was hopeful the repairs could be made within the next 2 days. Most of the Metro Nashville Police Department's administrators and officers use AT&T, and their phones went down Friday, according to Mumford. Check and see who Mumford is. Doesn't say who Mumford is. Maybe that was earlier in the MNPD spokesperson Chris Mumford. Chris is spelled K-R-I-S. It could be a female name, although I have seen that name used for men. Chris Christopherson being an example. City portal shelter set up for resources and assistance. Metro has set up a new Hub Nashville portal for those seeking assistance and resources. Residents can submit requests for help, business support, and also sign up for volunteer opportunities. There's also a link to submit any tips about the explosion to FBI. People can also call area code 615-862-7400 with any information. State is also working with the American Red Cross to house and give resources to the dozens of residents displaced or affected by the explosion. A reception center has been set up at East Park Community Center at 700 Woodland Street. And here's more on the actual bombing. Drake said it was unclear if anyone is inside the RV when it exploded. He confirmed that tissue that could be human remains was found in the area of the explosion. Authorities are investigating to determine if it is connected with the explosion. I'm pretty sure it was. I've seen various discussion about the human tissue and who it could be. Speculation it might be Anthony Quinn Warner, but I don't think so, considering that he had turned his property over to this other woman. So it looks like he has departed the area, and he left the RV behind. So I don't know. I don't know who took the RV. If he may have come back for the RV, or if he gave the RV to the woman whose name I've forgotten. Let me see if I can find the name of the woman. Okay, see from the map that the traffic circle that I mentioned previously is on Max Court, which is comes off Bakerfield Road. Is that Bakertown Road? Excuse me. Okay, Michelle Swing is the name of the woman. Okay, so I don't know if Michelle Swing had anything to do with that. All I know is that she was in possession of the property. And the vehicle was on that property until just a couple of days before the explosion. So someone moved it, and no way to know from any of these articles whether Michelle Swing knew the person who moved it. I'm sure she's been asked already, and I don't know what, if anything, she was able to say to the investigators. So if either Anthony Quinn Warner came back for the vehicle, or he gave the keys to someone else who then moved it. And we don't have confirmed that vehicle was the one that exploded. So we don't know that it is that the we don't know that Anthony Quinn Warner had anything to do with the explosion, because we don't have, and that's why he's just a person of interest, not a suspect, because we still don't know, and it's going to be a while before there may be a piece of the RV that has a serial number that can be traced, but that's about it. All of the in here. Alright, that's the end of the article on Tennessee, and go back to the First Amendment, see if I can find anything else. Okay, then Blue Man Dude lists a Twitter feed the Twitter user calls himself Stars at Night, and the account is at Star5 at Night. Five in, let's see, person of interest Anthony Quinn Warner identified in Nashville bombing, and then gives a photo that's from CBSN Live, that gives a photo showing the RV being driven at night, and the RV has its lights out because it's at night, and it is appears yellow because the street lights are yellow. And let's see, and then that leads to that Blue Man dude was investigating the story, and that leads to his posting of the article in heavy.com. Let's continue through that article in heavy.com. See if there's anything else that is in there. No, that's the end of that. Let's see, this. Okay. Just going through my inbox. Alright. Appears that's as far as we've got. So, I will come back tomorrow. I'm may be able to do a live stream tomorrow and report on anything else that I learn. If I don't do any videos tomorrow, you'll know that I haven't learned anything. Or else I did learn something and I've been silenced in order to avoid exposing anything, but that's highly unlikely since I am nowhere near Nashville, Tennessee. Alright, so I'm going to have to close off now, and I'll have a good evening and be blessed in the name of Jehovah. Hallelujah. Amen.